All right, hello everybody. So, real quick, I wanted to talk about what is, to me, what I've noticed one of the biggest misconceptions about purchasing a firearm. So, when you go to a dealer to buy a gun, you fill out this form. It's called a Form 4473. That's what the ATF calls it. And the dealer fills out the manufacturer, model, serial number, type, caliber gauge, all that. Then you fill out all your information and, where you were born and answer all these questions. And then, you sign it. And then what I do, my part, is I take your driver's license, I verify all the information is correct and matches. And then I fill out this little block here. I write your driver's license number. And if your address doesn't match your driver's license, I get another document that proves you live at that address. And I check here what kind of gun it is, and then I either make a phone call or I do what's called a NICS check, which is just really a background check to make sure you're not a prohibited person from buying a firearm. And that's done by the FBI, so I do it either online or with a phone call. Now, a lot of people think that when you do this form and when you do this process, that gun is registered to you. In Louisiana and the vast majority of U.S. states, that is not what the case is at all. This is a form that just stays at the dealer's shop. It never really leaves, and the ATF may see it if they come in and they do an audit, but really all they're concerned about is how the paperwork is done. That it's how a lot of government agencies are. They care more about the paperwork process than anything, and they're looking for little bitty things that in reality probably doesn't matter at all. But when I call it in, all I tell them is if it is a long gun, handgun, or other firearm. Those three things, that is it, and they just run a check. I don't tell them the serial number. I don't tell them anything else other than those things. So as long as you're of age to buy it, you have a clear background check, then I can go ahead and proceed. And when there's a delay, a lot of people get a delay, and it seems like I've been getting a lot of those lately. A delay is like, if say I call them, I get a delay, then I can't transfer you the gun until a certain date. It's like 3 full business days after this, you fill out this form. So sometimes they call me back and say, hey, you can go ahead and proceed. Sometimes they don't call me back at all, and I can check it online. It'll say you can go ahead and proceed. But then if I don't hear from them at all, which has happened, I can legally go ahead and give that person the firearm. So it's kind of strange, but that's how it is. And a lot of people think that, the government has all these serial numbers of guns and they know who has bought what. Not the case at all. There are honestly way too many guns for them to even keep track of, I'm pretty much convinced. When I manufacture a gun, or anybody that manufactures a firearm, it goes into their records that they manufactured it. And, I did this for all my suppressors. I do the process of the serial number, model, all that kind of stuff. But that information really just stays in my records. At the end of the year, I fill out a form saying how many guns I manufactured and entered the market. So it's not even really a true representation of how many guns I made. Once a year, you have till like April 1st to do it. It's a form, whatever, and I fill it out and just say how many handguns, how many rifles, how many all this that I made, and that is it. The government, ATF, does not have any information on any serial numbers, models, or anything of a gun. Now, if a gun gets stolen or they find it at a crime scene or whatever, then they'll do what's called a trace request, where they start at the manufacturer and they work backwards and they ask, okay, who did you sell it to? They sold it to this distributor. They go to the distributor. Hey, what dealer did you sell it to? Then they go to that dealer. They say, hey, what person did you sell it to? Then in that case, I say, okay, I sold it to this person. Then say they go to that person and they're like, hey, what did you do with this gun? The guy might say, oh, well, I sold that a long time ago. I don't even remember who I sold it to. Then their paper trail dies, so it's all kind of pointless. But anyways, I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of information on that.